I am Bill Rochelle, Editor-at-Large for American Bankruptcy Institute. Today we're going to talk briefly about retention bonuses for officers of companies in Chapter 11. For those of you who have been around long enough, you will recall that in olden times, companies in Chapter 11 would say, "Oh my goodness, if we don't pay retention bonuses for our top officers, they're all going to pack up and leave, and the reorganization will go down the drain." Congress stepped in and stopped it. The law, as it reads now, says that you cannot pay a retention bonus to an officer, and I put the officer in quotation marks because that's the statutory word, unless the officer actually has an offer from another company to go work for the other company at the same or larger income. Well, companies, as you can imagine in Chapter 11, tried to get around it. They would say, and some courts agreed, that, oh, you're called an officer, but you really don't have much authority, so therefore, you're not an officer for the purpose of Section 503C of the Bankruptcy Code. Well, I'll tell you what, District Judge Paul Etkin in Manhattan put a stop to it. He said no. If you qualify as an officer under state law, that's pretty much the end of the story. The company said, well, look, our officers in the middle ranks, or even in the upper ranks, really cannot make corporate policy. In substance, Judge Etkin said, oh, that's silly. He said, policy is made by the board of directors. The officers just execute policy. So what Judge Etkin said was there is a strong presumption that if someone is an officer under state law or was appointed by the board, that person is ineligible for a retention bonus, no matter what the company says. He provided a caveat, however. He said that that presumption can be overcome if there is, and I quote, a particularly strong showing that this person does not perform a significant role in management. Well, I dare say, I think Judge Etkin's formulation makes a whole lot of sense. And trying to interpret what he means, I suspect it pretty much means that except for huge companies, if somebody is called an officer, well, there will be no retention bonus. Kind of a company where officers may nonetheless get retention bonuses might be something like a bank. Of course, we know banks are not eligible for bankruptcy or organization or bankruptcy for that matter. But you know, in a bank, they will call vice presidents or executive vice presidents officers, but you know, there could be hundreds or thousands of them in a bank. And perhaps that's the only situation in which someone called an officer will be entitled to a retention bonus. Now, of course, this is a separate issue when we talk about incentive bonuses, but that's a different topic. I am Bill Rochelle, Editor-at-Large for American Bankruptcy Institute. I will return same time next week with something interesting from the world of bankruptcy. Until then, be well, stay safe, good day.